Hi, very good afternoon to you. All that stands between me and between you and the lunch is me and Nina. So yeah, hopefully, we'll make it interactive and not make you wait too much. I just thought to start with, I'll share two small stories, and let's keep it interactive. There are very few people here, so as we go along, if you have thoughts, questions, will be great to just share those. Just two short stories of my consulting career. One is last year, one of the CEOs I met, and what the CEO shared with me that there is significant business opportunity that he's seeing in a very aligned area in which that person of that organization. However, and that's a projected turnover of about 1,000 crores. The current turnover of the business was 1,000 crores. However, he's not able to get it off the ground because he doesn't have any leader who could actually take that up and run with that opportunity. Another instance that comes to my mind is our experience with Crompton Greaves. We started partnering, Aon Hewitt started partnering with Crompton Greaves on their HR journey in early 2000. And at that time, Crompton Greaves was having about 300 crore loss. So significant loss, 300 crore loss the organization was having. And Mr. Trehan, who was the CEO at that time, called us. And he said, you know what, I want to focus on productivity. And therefore, let's create a balanced scorecard in the organization. Let's create a performance alignment in the organization where everybody focuses on productivity. And over next 2 years, we worked with Mr. Trehan to really drive that hard in the organization. The consequence was that within next couple of years, the profit of the organization moved from minus 300 to plus 800. And it really became a flagship organization for Thapar Group ahead of Ballarpur Industries. However, and we keep meeting our clients as we go, as years go by, we kept meeting Mr. Trehan. And 2-3 years back, Mr. Trehan said, actually, we went wrong in the journey we embarked on. And we said, okay, share with us a little more about it. He said, we have basis that strength that we created, basis the kind of profits we created. We become a global organization. They've made acquisitions in Ireland and other parts of Europe, and so they've become a global organization. And he's saying there is so much of opportunity that I see. However, we are not able to grow at that pace because the capability of our now second in line is not that high. And therefore, where we went wrong was we focused only on productivity. We did not focus on capability building and leadership building. And so that's the gap that happened at that time. And so my point being that it's business and HR are very, very closely linked. And unless HR takes those actions which are futuristic in nature. So in the first case, unless the human resource was working to create leaders, the opportunity would not have been lost. Similarly, in the second case, if the HR was proactive, looked 4 years out and created those capabilities, then the organizations would have been so much better catered to. So with that kind of opening statement, I'll go to the main presentation. The HR of future, what is the past, just to look at that. The past, the role was reactive, traditional support executing laid out responsibilities, operational responsibilities, carrying out the performance management system, ensuring that benefits are there, compensation reviews and all of that. The traditional stuff is being done. However, if you look at presently HR is supposed to be an active partner in the business who's aligned to the strategic objectives of the business. So whatever is the strategic objective, if the objective is growth, then is the HR delivering on that? If the objective is consolidation, then are we creating leaders who understand profit and loss and all of that? And so being active partner of business is what the present requirement is. However, going forward, our contention is, our research says that role of HR will need to change to being proactive, where HR actually helps drive the business and has a position at the top of the table at the board level. So having said that, therefore, what is it that will need to change? What will need to change is that HR will need to start driving value and therefore be very sure of what is it that is of value to the business, how much, and therefore what type of capabilities are required as we go along, and then how do we measure that value? And in my presentation, I'll talk about that. How do we produce the value, and how do we hold people accountable for that value? We conduct this, this whole presentation I'm making is 3 researches we do. The researches are HR effectiveness research that we do across the globe and in India, best employer research, and top company for leaders research. So best employer study, if we see, best employer study says that 80% of HR heads report into the CEO, 20% of HR heads do not report into the CEO. So therefore, if we are saying that HR is going to be business driver, there is no hope in hell for those 20% of the organizations where the HR is not even reporting into the CEO and there is a middle layer between the two. And that shows the kind of seriousness that the organization has on HR. The second example, again, want to take is of Aditya Birla Group. We've been working very closely with Aditya Birla Group over the past 15 years. 15 years back, Aditya Birla Group was a $3 billion organization. Today, any guesses how big is it? Somebody here is from Aditya Birla Group. So, $34 billion. So it's a 10 times growth that has happened in the past 13 to 14 years. In that 13 to 14 years, at that point of time, $3 billion, there was actually hardly any HR there. And you know, single man show from a HR side to now, when we conduct best employer study, ABG comes out as the best employer of Asia Pacific, not only of India. We conduct a top company for leaders study where we see which are globally the best companies who are creating great leaders, and Aditya Birla Group was the 4th globally. Asia Pacific, they were 1, but they were 4th globally. And so there is some fantastic work that is happening there. However, if you see clearly, HR and the person who's driving HR there, Director HR Santrup, is really in a very powerful position, and all business leaders listen to them very closely. He has a seat on the board and he's driving himself a very important business now. And that's the other trend we see. A lot of HR heads are now going and taking up strategic business positions in the same organizations that they were working, because they are so business oriented in their thought that they are seen to be now business leaders, and they take up those positions. So that's the kind of point I'm trying to make is, important thing is to start thinking about outcomes that drive business results. And if HR starts thinking outcomes, that's how they will become a business driver. Questions so far? Any questions? Yes. Yeah. So there would be somebody in the interim, you know, who's handling maybe finance and, you know, or strategy and, you know, that kind of a thing. So there is an interim layer that is put rather than the HR head coming into the leadership team. So HR head and then maybe somebody else as an additional layer. He's reporting into that before the CEO. I said business aligned, and therefore there are 4, let's talk about the business challenges in India. Our top company for leaders says that there are 4 business challenges that companies in